Imagine waking up with electricity in your veins. Not coffee, not pre-workout. Real power. Your eyes open and you already feel it. Your mind is a laser. Your body feels heavy in a good way, like it's built for impact. You stand up and there's this quiet aggression in your chest, like, give me something to destroy today. That's not a fantasy. That's what it feels like when your hormones, especially testosterone, are actually working for you instead of against you. But for most men right now, mornings feel like the opposite. You drag yourself out of bed like you're underwater. There's a fog between your ears that never fully clears. By 2 p.m., you're hunting for caffeine, sugar, or anything just to stay awake. You look in the mirror and think, where the hell did that guy go? The one who used to feel dangerous. And here's the painful part. You're doing exactly what you were told. Breakfast, snack. Lunch, snack. Dinner, snack. Every fitness guru with a shaker bottle has told you, eat every 3 hours to keep your metabolism roaring and your testosterone high. But what if that advice is quietly wrecking you? The hidden saboteur. Let me introduce the villain you didn't know was living in your bloodstream. Chronically elevated insulin. Every time you eat, insulin rises to help move nutrients into cells. That's normal. The problem is when you never give it a chance to come back down. When you're eating all day, insulin stays slightly elevated, like a wet blanket over your entire hormonal system. And here's where it gets brutal. Insulin doesn't just store fat. It can blunt the signaling pathways your brain uses to talk to your testicles. Your hypothalamus and pituitary are trying to send the message, produce more testosterone. But with insulin constantly high, that signal gets distorted. It's like trying to yell across a room with loud music blasting. The message is there, but your testicles never really hear it. So you keep lifting, you keep taking zinc, ashwagandha, tongkat. But if that upstream signaling is jammed, you're just polishing a broken engine. That's the before picture. Now, let's walk into the transformation. The stress gap, days 1 to 10. You decide to tighten your eating window. Maybe you skip breakfast. Maybe you switch to a simple 16-8 or 18-6 fasting routine. At first, it feels like a mistake. Your muscles look flatter. Your mood dips. Your libido feels like it packed a bag and left town. You think, I knew it. I'm starving myself. I'm killing my testosterone. This is where almost everyone quits. But this phase has a name, the stress gap. When food suddenly becomes less frequent, your nervous system doesn't understand that it's a choice. It only knows food is scarce. We might be in trouble. So your adrenal glands crank up cortisol, your main stress hormone. And biologically, cortisol and testosterone sit on a seesaw. When cortisol rises, testosterone often dips. Your body is choosing survival over reproduction. Researchers call this temporary gonadotropin suppression, a short-term downshift in sex hormone production during stress. It's not a glitch, it's an ancient feature. Your ancestors needed that cortisol spike to become restless, hyper-focused, a little more aggressive, so they'd actually go hunt. This is the demolition phase of your hormone renovation. It looks and feels worse before it gets better. Most men walk out right here. You're not broken. You're just in the middle. Stay. The flip. Weeks 2 to 4. Then something shifts. Somewhere between week 2 and week 4, the fog starts to clear. You wake up one morning and notice it. Your mind is sharper. Your energy isn't jittery. It's steady and relentless. You're not thinking about food every hour. You feel dangerous again. Here's what's happening under the hood. Insulin is finally dropping between meals. That lowers inflammation and takes the noise off your hormonal signal. Your androgen receptors get more sensitive. Testosterone isn't just about how much is floating in your blood. It's about how well your cells listen to it. Fasting can increase the responsiveness of those receptors, especially in muscle tissue. So even average levels of testosterone start hitting harder. Growth hormone surges. Short-term fasting has been shown to cause large spikes in growth hormone. That hormone protects your lean mass, helps mobilize fat for fuel, and works with testosterone to preserve and build tissue.
Think of testosterone as the architect drawing the blueprint. Growth hormone is the construction crew making sure it actually gets built and maintained. Visceral fat starts dropping. Belly fat is loaded with an enzyme called aromatase, which converts testosterone into estrogen. As you lose that fat, you lower aromatase activity and keep more of your testosterone as testosterone. At the same time, your brain is entering hunt mode. Fasting increases norepinephrine and can sharpen dopamine signaling. You feel locked in, not anxious, not manic, just razor-focused and purposeful. This is why so many men report, "I feel like myself again." Muscle, autophagy, and the mirror. Now let's attack the biggest fear. Won't fasting burn all my muscle? Your body is not stupid. When you fast, you trigger a process called autophagy, self-cleaning at the cellular level. But your body doesn't start by breaking down valuable muscle tissue. It starts with the junk, damaged proteins, malfunctioning mitochondria, old senescent cells that are just taking up space. Autophagy recycles that trash and uses it to build better, more efficient cells. Yes, you might look a little smaller at first, but a lot of that is water and glycogen dropping, plus inflammation coming down. What you're left with is denser, harder, more defined muscle, the kind of muscle that looks carved, not puffy. Meanwhile, your vascular system is improving. Fasting can enhance nitric oxide production and endothelial function, basically better blood flow. That shows up in the gym, and it definitely shows up in the bedroom. Metabolic superpower, beyond 30 days. Now zoom out. You're no longer controlled by the clock, the snack drawer, or a random crash at 3 p.m. You've built metabolic flexibility, the ability to burn glucose when it's available and fat when it's not, without panicking. Hunger stops being an emergency. It becomes a simple signal. Hey, fuel's getting low. You can listen, or you can wait 20 minutes and watch the wave pass. Every time you choose not to fold instantly, you're not just training your metabolism, you're training your identity. Self-control in your eating bleeds into self-control in your scrolling, your spending, your habits, your life. That is the real transformation. From being yanked around by cravings and crashes to being sovereign over your biology. So here's the line I want you to remember. Feasting is the celebration of life. Fasting is the cleansing of it. You need both to be whole. Use feasting for joy, connection, and abundance. Use fasting for discipline, clarity, and hormonal power. If this flipped a switch for you, don't just nod and move on. Build your first simple fasting window. Protect your sleep. Lift heavy. And if you want more science-backed strategies like this, hit subscribe and share this with the guy in your life who's tired of feeling weak and doesn't know why. You're not here to coast. You're here to evolve.